Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Brick Rigs. I'll be here showing off some more models and assets because that's what I've been building recently. I haven't actually been building cars or trains. Looking at the track there, or indeed planes. I haven't actually been building anything like that. I've instead been building rather static models and indeed static buildings. But this one I'll be showing one vehicle and one set of models, and we're here on the what is this? The sandbox map, the real sandbox map, grid map is what it's called. And yeah, I'll just be showing off what I've got right behind me. There we go. Some of you amongst you might recognise these as Perk-a-Cola bottles, or well, Perk-a-Cola machines, and indeed that's what they are. They are indeed Perk-a-Cola machines, because me and my friend have been playing a bunch of Call of Duty Zombies recently, and I thought, well, let's make these in. Well, I was thinking, oh, these Perk machines would be great in brick rigs, and I had a look, and no one's made them, so I jumped right on it, and yeah, I'm the guy that made all the Perk-a-Cola machines. I keep calling them bottles, but they're not. They're machines. Yeah, so I am Perk Machine Guy. And also Mystery Box Man. Because, yeah, you'll see where these are featured in a bit. But these are the main Perk-a-Colas, as it were. I've still got to make a couple, as you know. Well, as some of you may be able to tell, looking at this selection of machines here, I've still got to make Tombstone. Tombstone Soda is the full name. Who's Who is also something that I've got to make. I've got to make Vulture Aid, or Vulture Aid Elixir, as its full name. And Electric Cherry is the final machine that I really need to make. Then, of course, we've got random things such as Widow's Wine from Black Ops 3, which I could try and make. I'll have a look at the machine. The machine looked very complex, so I might skip Widow's Wine. But then I'll also have a look at making Der Wunderfizz machine, or Der Wunderfizz from Origins. Might have a go at making one of them, and also there was something else. But yes, so this is the selection of machines that I have right now, and I've also got, of course, the mystery box here. So we'll start up with the mystery box since we're over this side. Yeah, pretty standard mystery box. It's nothing too spectacular. It's just, you know, a box. It's a simple enough box model. It's got the two question marks up top in a bright yellow to make them seem like they're glowing. It's on the breeze blocks for, you know, its stand. It's on the breeze blocks, and then a nice piece of wood, and then you've got the rough wooden box of the mystery box, which has got the two hinges at the back, and then you've got the sort of latch, which is what the square and that triangle is on top of the box. If you couldn't tell, I'm slightly ill. I'm getting over a cold, but that's beside the point. So yes, this is the basic version of the mystery box, and then of course we've got the mystery box spawning site, which is right there. So of course, those of you that haven't played zombies or don't know the mechanics of zombies, if the map allows it, there's a chance that you will get a teddy bear out of the mystery box, and it will move to a different place. It will move to a site which has got a teddy bear on top of a stack of boxes, which is what I've tried to create here. So it's just got some simple box models here, which were just simple enough to cook up. They've got a German cross on it because it's Group 935 is, you know, a German scientist group, which is the whole zombie storyline thing. And then, yeah, these boxes have just got a handle on top, and they've just got some German crosses. And then it's got a teddy bear model here, which is rather creepy with its default smile and its red eye. Yeah, and so there's just a simple teddy bear model here, which is made out of foam to make it look like it's made out of a material. So the foam actually works rather well, I think. So yeah, so there's just a basic teddy bear model there, and that's on top of another stack of breeze blocks. And then we move on to the actual perk machines themselves. So I started off making the four original, the OG group of Perk-a-Colas, and then I also started making some of the Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, etc. Machines. So first of all, we've got everyone's favourite essential drink, Juggernog, aka Jug, for people who play zombies, and don't want to say the full name. It's just straight up jug. So you go and grab your jug. You say to your friend, "Hey, I'm just going to grab jug," and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. So the machine itself, it's got a lot going on with it. It's probably one of the most convoluted perk machines in the game, just in terms of how much stuff is actually on the perk machine. So it's got ice cold on one side, it's got a bit of the jingle on the other side, and then on the front it's got drink juggernog, and then it's got a couple of slogans, you know, that's good nog and made with real egg, and then it's 10 cents, because all of these machines are apparently 10 cents, which is strange. If I could buy an entire bottle of drink for 10 cents, I would definitely be buying a lot of it. And then it's got, I've tried to make the cross and the bullet going through it, which is the symbol for Juggernog, on top there. You'll notice with a lot of these, with a lot of the shield icons, I've tried to do my best to keep with the theme, and you can tell from looking at them what they're meant to be. So I think I've done a decent enough job. So yeah, so we got Juggernog there, and then we've got Speed Cola, everyone's other essential perk. So it's a much larger, wider, boxier machine. Drink Speed Cola on top. It's got ice cold. It's got a couple of bottles here, which is what these are meant to be, because it has 6 holes, which 3 of which are filled with bottles. This is just a slightly lower res, I suppose you could say, a lower poly version of that. So yeah, so these 2 holes here are spaces for a drink, and then those are actual drinks. And then it's got the place where you put your money in, with these squares on there. So yeah, you got that. Nothing on the side of the speed color machine, which is nice, and yeah, it's just a big old thing. And then it's got the hand and the magazine on it up top there, to tell you that it's Speed Cola. And then we've got everyone's essential solo perk, Quick Revive. You can buy it 3 times in solo. When you go down, it'll automatically revive you. So yeah, simple enough. Quick Revive. You've got the space for to take the bottle out of. It's one of the smaller perk machines. And then it's got ice cold on it, sold here down the bottom, and then it usually has some bubbles on the side. And I tried doing bubbles, but then I was like, they're not really working. But yeah, so we got Quick Revive, and then you've got the picture of the guy getting up out of the grave, which is what I've tried to do here. So you've got sort of like the grave at the back, and then you've got a stick figure. It's close enough. And then we've got Double Tap 1.0, and I say 1.0 for a very good reason. This is the original World at War or Black Ops version of Double Tap, which simply increases your rate of fire. Unlike Double Tap 2.0, introduced in Black Ops 2 and onwards, this doesn't give you an extra shot per bullet, as it were. So with Double Tap 2.0, it increases your rate of fire still, just not as much as Double Tap 1, and also when you shoot 1 bullet, it'll actually shoot 2, which basically gives you double the damage, which is very useful, and very, very fun to have. But this is Double Tap 1.0, this is the original machine, and it's got the original logo, which are these 2 bullets here. At least that's what these lines are meant to be. These are meant to be bullets, which would normally have a trail coming out behind them, but yeah. So it's got Double Tap Root Beer on a circular. This is meant to be like a cap, because in the original machine it has got a cap sort of sticking out of it, so that's what this is meant to be. So it's got Double Tap Root Beer. Ice Cold is on the machine, it's also 10 cents. There's where you'd put your money in, this sort of square. Got Double Tap down the bottom, and yeah, just a nice big machine. This is meant to be corrugated, but I've had to use what I could, which is carbon fibre. It works close enough to it. And then we've got everyone's favourite missing perk, PhD, or PhD Flopper, to give it its full name. But everyone knows it as PhD or Flopper. I usually call it PhD. So yeah, with the PhD machine, it's a very tall, very thin machine. It's got 4 levers on it, which is what these things meant to be. I thought they were lights, but apparently they're, according to the actual Call of Duty wiki, they're apparently levers, but I've just used lights here, which you could turn on, I suppose, if you wanted to just edit it up. But yeah, so it sort of tapers inwards and then back outwards again, which is what I've tried to do here. This is the dispenser, which has actually got a styrofoam cup in it, I think, in the actual machine, model. In Call of Duty, it's actually got a styrofoam cup in there, I believe. But yeah, so there's that, and then coming up to the top, you've got the, I suppose explosion is what it's meant to be, but they're sort of like yellow balls attached to sticks, which then go into the main top of the perk machine. And yeah, so this is PhD. This is meant to be the tapering back outwards again, then it's got like a yellow front there. Not quite the same, but you get the idea. You look at it, you can glance at it and you know what it is, which is what I wanted it for. And then we've got Stamina Up for everyone who wants to train the zombies, going around, and if you don't know what training is, it's basically where you just constantly run around in a circle, gather up all the zombies, and then you turn back and mow them all down, then you can rinse and repeat. It's just a different strategy to camping. But yeah, so Stamina Up, it's got some wood textures on it, which is what these things are meant to be here. These are the dispensers, because you've got button dispensers on the machine, which you would in real life press the button with a cup underneath it, and then it would dispense the drink. And then it's got 5 different drinks, which are what these coloured lines are meant to be. They're the different kinds of drink. Yeah, it's a nice orange machine. It's got a picture of a guy running super quick like he's in a cartoon, which is what this is meant to be. The sideways 0 is meant to be the legs going over time. And then, of course, you've just got the guy running there with his head there, body and arms. And then it's got Stamina Up written on the front. It's got these... It reminds me a little bit of like an American-style big 60s retro jukebox, which is what these side bits are. Which are very interesting. But yeah, so there's that, and then it's just got some more wood on the back of it as well. And so yeah, that's Stamina Up. You know, probably should be a little bit smaller. It should be probably the size of Quick Revive, but in order for me to get the proper defining shape, if I have to make it slightly bigger. But yeah, and then we've come to well, everyone's favourite useless perk. Well, not exactly useless, but everyone likes it, but they sort of don't buy it. It's Deadshot Daiquiri, and again, Deadshot should be a smaller perk bottle. It shouldn't be as tall as PhD. It should again be the size of Quick Revive probably. But yeah, due to constraints in brick rigs, this is how I've got it to. So yeah, Deadshot Daiquiri. Not much going on with Deadshot. It should really taper outwards slightly, but hey, there you go. So it's got Deadshot Daiquiri written on the front. It's got like a margarita style cup there, and then it's got a piece of lime on it, which is sticking out the side, again like a margarita. It should be covered in blood. It should also be filled with blood, and the blood should be overflowing the side of the margarita bowl, but well, this is brick rigs, we don't really have blood here. But yeah, so there's that, and then I've just got a crosshair sight for the Deadshot logo, which actually worked surprisingly well, due to that is basically the logo. Crosshair on a head. I mean, that's pretty much Deadshot's logo. So yeah, there's that. I like how the margarita bowl came out. I think the glass is the best thing about it. And so yeah, there's Deadshot. And then we come to the final thing out of all of these perk machines, which is Mule Kick. Which I'm very happy with how this perk machine came out. It's got the big old shape, it's got the Uno Mas, it's got the guy with the sombrero and the bandolier there, it's got the 3 guns up top, it says Mule Kick on it, it's got the rounded top, and it just, I think it looks one of the best looking out of these perk machines here. It looks the most, or one of the most, like the original perk machine actually in game. So yeah, I'm very happy with how Mule Kick came about. And so yeah, those are all of the perk machines. 8 in total. Should have at least another 4 at some point. And I made all these within a day. I mean, they're pretty small, to be fair. I mean, there's a lot of mechanics that go into this. Mule Kick is probably about 100 pieces, maybe. You know, PhD as well. That's going to be a bunch of pieces. Even though they may not look it, but a lot of pieces actually go into these machines in order to make them look like this. But yeah, so those are all of the perk machines. But we're not done yet. It's time to play some zombies. This is a zombies map that I made for the perk machines. I've adjusted it slightly due to the introduction of the mystery box, which I made specifically for this, which I added to the perk machines. But this map is basically meant to be the Nuct of Brick Rig zombie maps. So yeah, this was pretty much just a proof of concept zombies map, because I built the original 4 perks. The original 4 perk machines rather. So you got Quick Revive, Jug, Speed Cola, Double Tap, and I thought, well, I'm gonna have to make a zombies map in order to show them off. So this is what I did. It's a very simple thing. Reuses a lot of my previous assets, which is why I saved them all to their own building, as it were, so I can just bring them into a map when I'm building them. So this has been made out of a lot of recycled pieces, and you'll be able to tell what a lot of these pieces are out of. Most of the starting room here is made out of bits that I used for the 1930s race car garage. You can tell that from the tools there, and indeed this whole back thing here. It's got the lubricant there, the batteries as well, and just sort of like things like this, the fire extinguishers. These were all reused assets, the desk and the globe as well. Some other bits and pieces were used from elsewhere, such as the supplies and the tea ration from the military supply truck, as well as the first aid, and yeah, things like that. So this is the starting room. It's a very big open area. I didn't mean, when I started building this, I was like, yeah, we'll have a window here, here, and here. And then I was like, hang on, this reminds me a lot of Nuct Untoten, and I don't want to just remake Nuct. So I did end up changing it as I went through. But yeah, so we've got Quick Revive here for people playing in solo. There's no power that you need to turn on. You can just go straight up, buy the perk as soon as you can. There's no wall guns, because I would need to make actual models for them. I could have like a wall gun there if I wanted to. I could have one probably here as well, maybe one over there. But yeah, so there's not much space for actual wall guns. But hey, there you go. So you've got 5 windows here, so in single player, if you're playing solo, you would have a lot of problems actually trying to defend this room. We've got a can of brick roll there, but you do have Quick Revive at least in the starting room, so you can just straight up buy that. And then, of course, once you've gathered up enough points and you're starting to get overrun, you can go ahead and you can buy the door. So there you go, boom, and you're into the second room, which is the garage, with the main garage door right there. We got Juggernog, which is great, so you can just go straight up buy Jog as soon as you come through. So you're like, oh no, I'm getting a bit overrun, gonna have to run through, and then you can go straight up buy Jug and then come straight back again. The actual garage itself, you've got a radio here, which could be, I don't know, play a song if you knife it or shoot it or whatever. You've got a single window here, which means that it does make a decent enough place to camp if you're playing with 2 people, or indeed playing solo again. The actual garage itself has got the 1930s race car, which is the German style one, because, you know, zombies started off as Nazi zombies, so, you know, German themed race car seems good enough. In order for you to actually move around here, I've taken off the wheels, which then, as you can see, just propped up against the lift, the inspection ramp lift. And then again, yeah, so you got Vice and some other various bits and pieces. I mean, if you're playing single player or indeed playing 2 player, one person could defend this window, the other person defends the main starting room, just sort of shooting at the zombies like so. Although if you're playing single player, then yeah, all you have to do is worry about this wall, about this window, and just keep spraying them down through the doorway, single aisle. So that does make it a viable camping spot. But then, if you're starting to get overrun again, or indeed you want to find out the rest of the map, then you go over to the garage door switch, which has got these wires coming out of it here, which is what these things are meant to be. So you go straight up, you buy the door, and then out you come to the main outside area, which is the final area that I've got here. Of course, once you've done this, it compromises the whole camping spot here, because they'll come from the garden, they'll also come from the door, and they'll come from the window. So you can't really camp here anymore unless you have 4 people. At maximum, 3 at minimum. But then you come to the outside, you've got the engine, which is on an engine jack, which is what this whole thing is here, because, you know, as you'll notice, the engine is out here. So yeah, that's on an engine jack. You've got speed cola, you've got double tap, and you've got the box. So the box only has the one place to move, which is between the starting room or the outside garden area here. As for if you were staying out in the garden, 4 players would be sort of like the optimal, because one person have this window, one person have this window, one person have this window, and then the other person covers the actual garage. But it is a massive doorway, which means that the zombies will come from here and also from the doorway there. But other than that, you should be able to hold it firm. If you're playing single player, I never said this was an easy map, I just said it was a basic map. But if you were playing single player, you've got the one place which you can train, which is around the engine here, which is very dangerous, because if they come from this window as you're running this way, you'll get caught up and you will die very quickly. There's one place. Alternatively, a more dangerous place would be training around the car in the garage. You would sort of just run around like this, constantly round them up, and then look back and shoot at them, and then you'd come back around this way again. That's the second training place, although the third place, and what I would imagine would be the most popular place, would be to train in the starting room. So you would have the doorway where they come from, and you'd have the 5 windows, but you've got a much larger place to train. You're not likely to get caught up on much except for the globe. You even have the box here if the box moves. So yeah, this is just a proof of concept map. You can just run around like so, you know, shoot down the zombies. You know, you can defend out the window like that. You know, very simple. Although you do tend to destroy the actual pieces of the window if you're not careful. I mean, but other than that, yeah, it's a pretty simple enough map. You know, nothing too much going on with it. No Easter eggs, no buyable guns, none of the new perks because I hadn't made them at the point. But yeah, this is just a simple zombies map. This is how it looks from the outside. You know, again, not too big. Probably about the same size as the garage. Probably wider than the garage, but not lengthier. Well, the other way around, rather. But yeah, so it's a pretty simple zombies map, but it's still pretty cool, pretty fun. You got your perks, you got your mystery box. It's all that you really need. And yeah, you can just stay here until you die, as is traditional with zombies. So yeah, that's the zombies map. I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.